Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Simtrax Broadcasting as we are coming to you live here with the USORL Cup Series. As we get these guys kicked off here, a couple of qualification laps are being placed as we take a look at John Peterson, the number 43 out there, getting ready out there here at Talladega. Definitely we arrive here at the Alabama Mile where the speeds are oh so fast. The drafting is going to be 100% reliant on guys' talent out here. And not just the car, not one winner here for the past few seasons, it seems. Through Season 1 through Season 10, there isn't a single one that has been able to duplicate a win. Andrew Burr, Jake Oakley, Randall Coleman, Davey Hazard, Trey Coleman, Jeff Dixon, Jack Healy, Ryan Pace, Zach Webster, and Garrett Sidnor are drivers that have won here at Talladega. And would we be able to crown, an 11th driver? There's a good possibility, and definitely one here to kick it off. And joining alongside me tonight is Douglas Ross. Douglas, this race, man, I would say plate racing. I've seen you win it. We had a little mic trouble, and we were able to get you for a win over there at the big show. But we are getting ready here, kind of weighing our options back and forth of how the other drivers out there on the track are going to figure out how to work well together. Although they aren't all in the same team, you got to kind of work around each other, and can they?
It's most definitely. A lot of drivers tonight are going to be having to find a lot of friends out there when it comes to drafting, because at Talladega, it comes to the conclusion drafting does help the drivers, and anybody can win here on this track. You got 27 drivers ready to tear it up here at the Talladega Superspeedway, so this should be a fun race tonight.
I'm hoping so. This should be a wild race. I would expect to probably see a couple of guys pushing when they shouldn't. Guys are going to be shoving each other around out there, and hopefully they do keep a well-contained spot out there. I would expect to see a couple of guys end up in some trouble maybe early on here in the race. But really, my biggest concern is also when we look at the race, taking a quick peek at it here. Right now, they really, really need to kind of consider what they're doing out there and not make the jump too soon. As I take a look here, 100 laps is what we got lined up tonight. 3 sets of tires, and the tires aren't really that useful out here. Some guys may throw it on, maybe if there's a caution, possibly. 100% fuel capacity, so it'll be out there as long as absolutely possible. But the big one to circle here is that no fast repairs and that 130-degree temperature out there on the track. That is going to be scorching out there, especially for the way these guys are going to be going at it here for this race. And this this race is named We're Serious About Success 266 by Devry, getting ready to kick it off here as warm-up is underway. Right now I see Jace Nelson out there. He is getting a couple of laps down. Right now I see Austin Spencer out there in the 13 Ford. But 2.5 miles, this can churn by pretty quick through the draft. Drivers out there, we've seen them a couple times there, Douglas, between leagues, that out there by yourself, you're running almost a minute per lap. In the draft, I mean, we're talking somewhere 48 seconds. I mean, these guys are able to shave off a massive amount of time, especially when you're following somebody.
Most definitely. I've been in a couple of leagues before. When it comes to Talladega Superspeedway, you don't want to be the lone man left out, because even if you get shoved in the middle, or if you're in the line all alone and you go to the back of the field, it's going to be a pain to get all the way back up to the front if you end up getting left out.
Yeah, 110%. As right now we are going to see some of the sponsors on the side of the cars out here tonight. We'll be actually representing, if I'm reading this right tonight, is the seasonal college race. They're repping their favorite school and fighting for bragging rights out there. And we'll see if any of them have anything different out there. And right now, sitting this one out, but he'll be here on the server and he appreciates us. All right. Now, I'm fairly certain that is Davey Hazard out there in the chat. And if so, that means we might have race control, so that should be pretty good. We'll see how he hangs in there. There's right now a couple of drivers out there. Look like Austin Spencer and the Hawkeyes machine. And Tyler Stallhood, RCA. Right, let's check on Antonio Ruiz and see how he's doing. I think that's 11. That's probably Texas A&M, I believe. boy, there's a lot of smoke out here on the track. And fortunately, Stella has been with us through a couple of races out there where we've seen fog out there on the track, and it's brutal. It's a joke. You can't see a thing. I mean, drivers can't see a thing. So fortunately, this looks like it's going to be a fantastic, clear day here for the drivers to get underway and really start putting down some good times. I expect to see these guys really do their best. And Stella, yep, you're out there saying you hate fog. Oh, yeah, it's going to be pretty sketchy out there as we take a look at Colby Martin in the McDonald's machine and the 94 Chevrolet. Talk to me a little bit here, Douglas, about this track. What is so tricky that gets guys caught off guard, that creates the big one?
Well, there's many things that can cause the big one. One of them is drafting your person right, making sure that you're not like left hooking them or right hooking them while you're drafting them. A driver can easily lose patience when it comes to the run. That's another thing that we have to watch, is the run. And basically what I'm talking about is you get a nice draft coming off of the car, and then you got to ease on your brakes a little bit just not to get into that person.
Okay, so would this be almost a two-footed race? Drivers will, not take their foot completely off the gas. You just hold to the floor the entire time, and then take that left foot and kind of drag it on the brake a little bit. That way you don't end up rear-ending somebody.
Really all depends. I mean, you can have two certain ways on doing that. One, you can ease in and off the gas, or you can try and brake ride it if you get too close. I typically like to with the gas pedal a little bit when it's coming to the run to Talladega, but everybody's different.
Yeah, sometimes it's, I'm wondering fuel mileage, it would be best to go ahead and lift, and then that way you're not dragging the brake. I just wonder, when you see a driver that gets up toward the front, and you kind of see him, whoa, well, number 5 is about to create the big one here in a second. Oh, man. But when you see guys out there and you notice they start in the top 5, and within a matter of 2 laps, they're in the back 20, and then they're able to fight their way back to the front again. I mean, that just brings a whole lot of hope for guys that, had a terrible qualifying time or don't have an exact team that they can work with out there. So it's a good all-round track. I would say, some plate tracks, even drivers alike out there, say it doesn't seem to have much skill when it comes to a track like this. You hold it to the floor, you follow the guy in front of you, you make your good lane changes when you need to be, and just be at the right place at the right time. But, I mean, we're seeing these guys already wobbling out here on the track as we're starting to lay down some more rubber. That way these guys will help stay stuck to the track during race time. But it's going to be kind of that switch of back and forth here of how they're going to fight their way up to the front. And how do you be in the right spot at the right time? I mean, the worst spot on the track is the number 1 spot. You've got the fresh air, yes, but you've got nothing to help you go any faster than what you're doing other than the guy behind you bearing the hood into the bumper and starting to actually shove you along.
Yes, most definitely. The number 1 spot is definitely not the spot to be, especially when it's being on the last lap. Because you know what they say when it comes to this track. If you are sitting in the number 1 spot, you are sitting very, very vulnerable to every other person behind you. So it's very, very true. We gotta watch both lanes of traffic. You gotta watch where your friends are. Just make sure that you're getting around all right.
Yeah, well, I know over at the big show, Landon was very good at winning the super speedways. Heath Rutherford finally got his. And you notice they do sit back and pass right there with the number 62 making that move right there. And I think you came 3 to the line and beat him by a bumper there right at the end to come away with your win and at least a handful of cash.
Yes, I do remember that race good. It was me, Thomas Stewart, and Dustin Eaton fighting for that spot, and I think I narrowed out the margin from Thomas Stewart by maybe a couple of tenths of a second. It was that close.
All right, well, definitely tenths of a second are going to be squeezed together. We've seen them. I think you were even down in the 10 thousandths of a second. It got super close where you just were able to edge it out, but warm-up here. We got about another minute left of the warm-up. Guys trying to do, I would say, a mock practice race here. They're going to kind of, that's why you see a couple of these guys, like the 18, donating his hood to the cause, I guess. Right now, Tyler Stallhood, the RCA machine out there. He's out there racing by himself. Definitely we want to try to see if you can find a buddy out there and see how you handle on the race. All right, Douglas, you've raced at this track before. Where is the best line? Is it high? Is it riding in the middle, or is it riding down in the yellow paint?
It really all depends. It really all depends on the driver. Normally, me in particularly, I try to like be on the inside line, like where you see the 62 of Michael Marotta is right now riding. And basically, I try to ride that line, but I know a couple of my teammates that I had like to ride the high line because they think that that's where the most grip is on the track. But it comes to this, it doesn't really matter because the tires really don't wear and tear down too much here.
Okay. I have seen a lot of success come from about that middle line. We'll get 2 wide, sometimes 3. But it's that turn exit speed that guys you end up finding on the outside line is when they are on the inside. They're cutting that track. It is slowing them down just a hair. But as soon as that track starts flattening out, guys start linking up a lot sooner because it's not as much of a transition than it is low to the back stretch or to the front stretch. So old school, it used to be slinging off low and you ride up high toward the wall, but no longer. Everybody kind of just pretty much magnetizes to that yellow line, and they've got to continue and still hang on and hold out there until they do make it. So let's go ahead and get a quick look here at our starting grid here for tonight as these guys get lined up here and in a hurry. Let's go ahead and take a look. Here we go. Jeremy Edwards will be starting on the front row next to Antonio Ruiz. John Peterson starts third next to Cam Barnes. Justin Krzyzewski got it that time. Yeah, thanks, Stella. Appreciate for the help earlier this week. He'll be starting in fifth next to Zachary Webster. Luke Smith starts seventh next to Scott Fleener, and rounding out our top 10 on the inside of row number 5, Darren Ingram and Austin Hakes. Colby Martin will be starting in 11th. Don't be ready here, Douglas. I'm going to give it to you after this as Blake Veekin starts in 12th. Good rows here as we move toward the back of the field.
Looks like William Page will be starting in spot number 13. Spot number 14 will be Tyler Stallhood. Starting in spot number 15 will be Austin Spencer. Starting in spot number 16 will be Michael Marotta. Starting in spot number 17 will be Ungdu. Starting in spot number 18 will be Steven Merzlak. Starting in spot number 19 will be Zach Krostowski. Spot number 20 will be Cal Luval. Starting in spot number 21 will be Benjamin White. Spot number 22 will be Garrett Sidnor. Starting in spot number 23 will be Davey Hazard. Noah Joyce will be sitting in spot number 24. Spot number 25 will be Jake Healy. Starting in spot number 26 will be Daryl Harris. Spot number 27 will be Jace Nelson. Starting in spot number 28 will be Louis Schramm III. And rounding out the field in spot number 29, will be Joseph Weaver.
A couple drivers short here of a full 30-man field as we get ready to go underway here. Right now I'm showing Daryl Harris in the 9 Chevrolet. Looks like he will be starting down from the pits. Davey Hazard down and out here, but he's going to do his best impression of a race controller out there on the track. So that should be a good thing. I would say this is going to have a bunch of appeals out there of guys racing, trying to say, hey, this didn't go my way, this didn't go your way, and things like that. So we'll slice and dice from the back, and he'll have our eye in the sky. All right, now I believe I am also supposed to correct. It's Michael Marotta out there in the number, sitting 16th currently in the 62 Chevrolet. He made sure to get a hold of me. It's not Marotta, it's Marotta. Got it. All right. Steven Merzlak sits 18th, and right now I am waiting to see. It's a driver like right now, let's say Justin Krzyzewski. He's moved back 20 positions, now down to 25th to go ahead and get this one started. Jeremy Edwards, he takes an EOL, dropping down to 27th here. Yuck. All right, that's going to move John Peterson and Antonio Ruiz to the front line here as we get ready to get this one kicked off. Green flag is imminent as we get past the Geico restart zone here in just a moment. Barney will let him rip, and away we go. Now, don't be fooled as these guys get underway. It takes a little while for them to get up to speed. Final speed that they will finally hit is over 200 miles an hour, and that's going to take them to about the end of the backstretch on the back half. So that's going to be a little bit of a tangle up here, and these guys are going to try and hold on for their life as they move around to the front. Notice already 3 wide sliding to the outside. I think Zachary Webster got caught there out toward the outside. It nudges the wall, and he is already trying to make a 3rd lane, but no one else is willing to join him.
Zachary Webster definitely hung out to dry there on the outside line. As you can see, all the other cars are starting to pass him right now. Looks like Zachary Webster will be going towards the back of the field. Or maybe this could even be a strategy call. Maybe some drivers may be going to the back of the field to try and avoid the big one that could be possibly happening. You never know.
Well, the big one I've seen 90% of the time happens from 5th place on back. So they've really got to keep in mind what they're getting ready to do here. I don't think he wants to really push his luck and start making the moves so early. We have seen guys dial out of the field and move toward the back to try to buy themselves some time and work hard on the front of the field later on in the race. But normally you see him drop below the yellow line and march on back. But oddly enough, for a driver to take a high side and go ahead and start doing something a little different, I don't know if that is exactly what you want to do, as Antonio Ruiz is doing the same thing. The 11 Toyota marching on back, and boy, I'll tell you what, that is a hairy spot for him to be in as drivers are slinging past him, and I don't know how he's maintaining calm as they are still moving past him here. 90-30 machine moving on through. That is Dewey Schramm. He's already up 5 so far, but we've seen guys moving all over this track, and this is exactly what I was talking about earlier, is guys from the back will go to the front, guys from the front will go to the back. Zachary Webster, the 95, has already dropped down 15 positions to sit 21st as his Ford is going to start chasing the Chevrolets and Toyotas that seem to occupy most of the top 10.
Looks like everybody from 17th on back looks like they're going to stay double file going on the to turn number 3 right now. And as you can see, I'm actually seeing a couple of cars trying to stick their nose out of the draft right there, probably trying to get a little bit of clean air in them as they go past.
Yeah, well, if they can hold on to it. The key is trying to have enough people to work with you. If you go out there all by yourself, then you're stuck, hung out to dry like we said before, and then kind of just weigh your options. Hey, was this really the best call? I'll remember that later on in the race, so they're going to try not to reduplicate that as we watch them go ahead and get lap number 4 underway here. No 3rd line has actually been completely assembled yet. A couple of guys have marched to the outside, taking another peek. But fortunately, I think the admins may have done a very good job out there telling these guys the number 1 rule. You can't win it on lap number 1. Just wait it out. Start getting a good feel, see how the guys go around you. But who can we point out? Let's go ahead and take a look at the guys here in the middle, as we are 3 wide for at least 2 rows. Right now, if I'd be in the 32 machine of Benjamin White, he's in a dicey spot, and I hope he's not going to end up in any sort of issues there on the outside, as it looks like the outside line is starting to deteriorate here, and the only person left out there, I believe, is the number 62 there of Michael Murata.
Murata definitely trying to make something happen on the outside line. It looks like he's got a drafting partner now in front of him. Looks like that's the 3 car of Tyler Stallhood. Stuck his nose on the outside line, and right behind the 62 is the 77 of Jack Healy. Oh, it looks like they're trying to make something happen.
Yep. Well, as they continue rolling this through, Jack Healy is unfortunately marching back in the number 77 Ford Spotify machine. He bails out on the 62 to snug in behind the 06 of Huang Do. Right now, he's up to 12th currently, still moving up, and he is up 5 here so far, marching out of the line again. It looks like Colby Martin has gone ahead and thrown in the towel. He said it's going too dicey up there. I'm just rather play follow the leader here, so he's going to march all the way on back. And I tell you what, we've got guys who've lost a ton of positions. Zachary Webster down to 19th, losing 12th, 13th positions there. Antonio Ruiz, he's all the way down to 23rd. That's 21 lost. Jeremy Edwards down to 24th. That's 22 lost, 23 lost. Colby Martin to 25th, 14 lost. Krzyzewski is down 21 to sit 26th. Boy, I'll tell you what, that is a lot of moving here, especially with the guys who are in the back are getting some time up front, and especially the 31 Toyota of Noah Joyce.
Oh.
They are right in a perfect spot as the big one starts. Here we go as we are taking a look at Huang Do as the number 5 slings back up the track. Excuse me, the number 3, Tyler Stallhood, looks like he continues the bleeding by rotating back up the track here. Man, hate to see that. Tyler Stallhood now is sitting 21st. Looks like his car is still mobile, though. I don't see anybody smoking or puffing out there, so it might still be some good news for some of our drivers. Fortunately, if you do clip somebody, you want to hit them while they're still at speed, rather than being at a dead stop. So I guarantee we'll see the number 6 here. Huang Do coming down in the pits. I'm looking to see if Garrett Sidnor, right front busted. That's going to do it for him. He's going to be in pit road for a good long time. As we get the higher version here of our drone footage, the 54, the right front is, it's facing the left front. Oh, boy. Boy, that is hateful. All right, let's take a look and see what happens here. We'll see if we can find a little something higher here, because I think he just comes in later into this run. Notice the split. Oh, he's pushed. And that's who made contact out there with Stallhood. Oh, my gosh. Douglas, I don't know about you, man, but I hate when the choice is made for me.
Yeah, definitely. That's the worst mistake that could possibly happen. And just by watching the replay, it looks like just someone just got hit way too hard.
Boy, that is a heartbreaker, especially so early into the race. He may have an opportunity to come back, but we'll see. Let's take a look here, top side. See, 77 looks like he's getting insanely loose. And 06 comes on down. 71 looks like Steven Merzlak in the Sim Wrap Market Machine. Say that 10 times fast. But what ends up catching the 77 sideways here? Jack Healy is the first one during this yellow flag. For the cause of this yellow flag. Notice how the 77... Ooh! There's a little bit of net code for you. Yeah, I'm hoping you were able to see that there, Douglas. That was not a good look here, especially for iRacing at a track like this.
That was a straight-up netcode incident from the 77.
59 did not make contact. 77 then got tripped up, and he wasn't even hit. And that just starts the accordion on backwards. Boy. All right. Few gentlemen coming down in the pit that were not involved. I believe everybody came down except our front 3 runners. Scott Fleener in his 49 Toyota, Noah Joyce in his 31 Toyota, and Colby Martin in his 94 Chevrolet. Decide not to come down. Everybody else came down, looks like for fueling goes. All the way to Dewey Schramm. Then we got guys who decided to throw on tires. Jeremy Edwards, William Page, Krystowski, Austin Hakes. But I believe they also fixed some damage out there as well. 30 seconds in the box for Hakes and Webster. And
right here, it looks like...
Go ahead.
Looks like Noah Joyce is now coming back down pit road from the number 2 spot.
All right, so that's only going to leave one driver out there, Scott Fleener, who is not coming down in the pits. Right now, I can assure you, Fleener would love to have a little help out there. All right, as everybody gets shuffled up, heading on back down pit road here. Go ahead and keep you guys apprised of how our guys are doing out there on the track. 42 machine of William Page sitting in the box. I'm waiting to see Garrett Sidnor. He's going to be there for a while. Tyler Stallhood, he's the one who ended up floating back up the track. He survives. 26th spot is where he's going to start from. Huang Do in the 06. So it looks like the one who got the worst of it was Garrett Sidnor, and he was already stopping for the wreck. Only driver looks like to retire here so far tonight is Jace Nelson.
It really, really sucks. Garrett Sidnor's still sitting on pit road. I don't know how much time he has on that.
Yeah. And the 59 is the one who started the net code here.
Actually, strike that. It looks like Garrett Sidnor is coming off pit road right now, but he is unfortunately a lap down.
Yep. And the 05 of Justin Krzyzewski is the one who clips him here. He's the one who actually started from the back. He's already 21 positions down to start this race. I guess clipped him and gave him a hard shove. And right now, Zachary Corbin out there saying Garrett is 10 minutes of repair from that one. So we'll see. We'll double check. Let's see if I can get the drone footage out there and check on this car. What does that right front look like? That doesn't look good. I think that tire's still locked up. Yeah, this is not going to give me any sort of an angle. Yeah, Garrett Sidnor is still locked up here.
All right, well, we're back to green flag.
Oh, beautiful. You the man. All right, let's go ahead and get back up to the front here. Cam Barnes starts third. Fleener, Luke Smith are going to be right in front of him, though, as they start this charge once again. Michael Murata already up to 6th. Remember, he was the one who ended up in a little bit of the wiggle there at the start of the accordion. And no problems there, so let's keep going as these drivers continue to make this charge. Riding on board with Michael Murata. It's a 62 Napa machine. Is deciding to elect for the inside line. Now, we'll notice how he has fallen off a good bit here from the 21 machine out there of Darren Ingram. This should definitely open up a huge hole here. He's going to pick up a boatload of speed coming up to the dog leg. He is actually hanging back a little bit here, Douglas, and is this unusual?
Yeah, this is a little unusual. I mean, maybe he's just trying to... He could be trying to conserve fuel, or maybe he's just staying back a little bit, seeing if something happens. It could be anything.
Yeah. I know when you're in a plate race like this and you start leaving gaps and room, people will shut that door. The 32, I guarantee you, with the Great Clips machine, would love to make a quick little slice to the inside and maybe come to the inside line and leave those guys to the outside marching back. I don't know. You do want to start snugging up on everybody and just try to close the gaps up a little bit before somebody else decides to overtake. We've seen a few guys make a couple moves. Right now, Murata could actually shift up, and the Iowa machine would be able to charge back forward. I believe that is the 94 out there, if I'm not mistaken. I'm probably wrong. They changed up their paint schemes. I believe it's the 13. Yeah, the 13 Austin Spencer. So there's the closed gap there. Good, nice, and tight. Now we're starting to really pick up some speed. Drivers over 185, slinging off a turn 2 here, and now charging up to the front. Getting over 190. Some top speeds have touched the highest of 207 and then some at 211. Antonio Ruiz has hit 211 miles an hour. He has really been blazing out there. And right now, that is him there in the 11 Toyota, following behind the 95 of Zachary Webster.
While they're advancing, a driver that fell back during the back straightaway incident was Michael Murata. He actually fell back a ton of positions. Probably didn't want to get involved in that mess that was happening up front.
No, it's too early in the race for him to really be considering this. I would say all the give and take ends probably about lap 80 to 85. Guys are really going to start, drawing the line and saying, nope, that's it. I'm moving to the front, and you'll see guys pushing harder than they should be. But let's move up front where we see Cam Barnes taking the lead here from Scott Fleener. 21 machine poking his nose out to the side of Darren Ingram. Right now, I'm wondering if he's looking for a breath of fresh air to the nose of that car there and start charging his way back up to the front. Looks like the backpack is starting to now meet the front, and they're going to be coming on with a boatload of speed here. Dewey Schramm will actually be leading that charge, I believe, as he is chasing Antonio Ruiz in the 11 Toyota.
The driver that's trying to make some noise here in the back is spot number 13 is Colby Martin, and right behind him is the 20 of Jeremy Edwards. And right now they're about to catch the back of that inside line.
Yeah, I'm got my money here on Colby Martin to make a statement here tonight. Out there running in the 94 McDonald's machine. Right now he is still on a charge. Oddly enough, he's the only driver here, other than Zach Krastowski, is still remains in his qualifying position out there. Colby Martin like to break into the top 10 here. A quick pass on Austin Martin. Austin Martin. Yeah, what is it going to be next? Colby Spencer? Oh my gosh, no. Austin Spencer and Colby Martin. Right now, look to see if the 94 can charge up to the front. But notice how everybody almost flaked out of the inside line here, leaving a bunch of room between the 31 of Noah Joyce and the, it looks like, yeah, Darren Ingram out there. So the 13 slices on down, Austin Spencer. That'll help this inside line start working a lot harder out there, and this is going to be definitely a tough one. Notice how that the back half of the field is starting to really separate you out yet again. And once you lose the draft, it's 10 times harder to get it back. So Zach Krastowski, Daryl Harris are really going to have to start ganging up here, probably inside line. Everybody work with them and charge back up to the front. But as they seesaw up front there with the lead, I would say it's going to be between Scott Fleener and Cam Barnes a few times here. And it's going to be really tough as guys are starting to almost seem getting annoyed here. Only 15 laps into this race.
Definitely people's patience are going to really start wearing thin when it comes to that run that they have, and they can't do anything about it. But it being only lap 16, it's best to just keep your patience, just go with the groove, and it'll come to you at the end.
All right, Season 4 winner and Season 10 winner are already out of this race. Remember, we said earlier that Davey Hazard is not going to be out here racing. He's not feeling real well. Hopefully we do see him return back next week when we get underway, I believe. And Garrett Sidnor, with the amount of damage that he has collected here, I don't see a possibility of him kind of boomeranging back here. I think he's going to be out there for an extended amount of time. 5 more minutes he's been hanging out there in the box. And he'll still see if he can get going. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I said the 59, Jace Nelson, had taken it back to the garage, but it looks like we have returned back to the track, though. And he is back here tumbling around with the 60 machine of Joseph Weaver. Yes, he is.
We're trying to make some noise happen there in the back.
Yep.
And I can also tell you another driver that we really haven't talked about. He's sitting in the back of the field, and that would be Austin Hakes, sitting in the 19th position right now. He's definitely trying to keep it easy. He was running in the front before, but then advanced back. So the driver that's trying to just take it easy, probably.
Qualifying in 10th position, he marches all the way back to 19th. He's going to be seeing if he can work his way up to the front as well. But everyone says from even inside the entire league here says, watch out for Austin Hakes. This guy can save tires. This guy can save fuel. And I would expect to see him return up front and be our new winner to Talladega rather than a repeat winner. So it's definitely a possibility. But wow, he dodges another bullet there as we are under caution. And there it is. Zach Krastowski got the worst of it there. As it looks like a throwback scheme from the old Kodak machine. And number 4 takes a huge bite out of the wall. Checking back out there in the chat, Bill Harkins. Appreciate you joining us here tonight. As we are here for the We're Serious About Success 266 by Devry. Here at Talladega. 100 laps we've got, and that is definitely what we are expecting to make. I don't know if guys are going to be able to keep this clean or we're going to have a bunch of trouble out there. And right now they're saying Netcode is a killer out there tonight. So I would probably expect to see a little something going on. Let's take a quick peek and see what happens to Zach Krastowski and how much time it's going to require for him to fix. 3 wide up toward the front. Whoa, the 77. Where did he come from?
Something definitely happened to Jack Healy. I think he may have had a lag issue when it came to that, because when I went back and watched the replay, the screen went black. So it was probably a lag issue for Jack Healy.
All right, do me a favor out there, Douglas, since you've got eyes on the race as well. What is this guy's ping at, man? He was missing there for at least 3 to 4 seconds before he showed up, and then the netcode caught him. But the only reason I ask is this is the exact same driver that caused the lap 6 caution. Remember, it started the accordion that started from the back, and there wasn't anything going on there either.
According to my sources, his ping is at 100%, so it's really weird as to what just happened.
All right, well, we'll keep an eye out there. It's a Spotify machine very close to the second caution out there. They're not going to call it a caused caution, but something definitely seems a little fishy about this. Right there. Notice how we can't find him? There he is. Then it shows the 4 hit him. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I do want to take a quick peek, though. And let's see what Zach Krastowski sees. And see if his frustration is as much as maybe the rest of the field out there. Let's take a look. Whoa. Well, it looks like Krastowski may be able to return, though. It would be helpful. I'm not sure about his steering wheel being turned so much. Good bit of damage to the side of that car.
Looks like he is returning, and it looks like he'll be able to stay on the lead lap, but the damage has definitely been done.
All right, so even out there in the chat, they're calling for a little Burger King netcode out there. Yeah. Well. All right. Looks like Zach Krastowski goes ahead and gives the blue cone a wave by this time, instead of going ahead and taking it with him. Guys, if you were looking to end up sponsoring out here, sponsoring a car, sponsoring a race, or even sponsoring a flag, it could be a caution flag, it could be the white flag. Guys, there is a way you can do it. Get hold of Davey Hazard out there and go ahead and throw in your sponsor, what your catchphrase is. We can even do readouts, and we can even play a commercial if you got a video here on the broadcast, and get your name of your business out there. Definitely something they can end up doing for you. So like I said, you grab a hold of the number 75 machine out there of Davey Hazard. I believe they have a website as well. If Davey's still tuned in, go ahead and slap that thing on out there in the YouTube chat. I don't want to say it wrong. I just remember in my brain something about Weebly, if I remember right. I just don't want to say it's USORL racingleague.com.org. Yeah, I don't want to mess up. Zachary Corbin out there rooting on his man William Page, who's fought himself up to the 4th position. So right now, still hanging on. Last time these guys pit was lap 19. Some of them coming back down again for a quick splash and go. I don't blame them. Right now, Austin Hakes is saying he would like to make it a little bit farther as he comes in here on lap 20. Should be getting back underway in double file here in just a moment, and we should be getting back up around the speeds we'd like to see. Right now, top speeds are showing at 70 miles an hour. Yuck. See him zipping around a little bit faster. All right,
Speaking
Doug,
of top,
go ahead.
speaking of the top speeds, I actually do have a little piece of information here that people actually might not know. Did you know that Bill Elliott actually set the track record at 212 miles an hour in the 1987 Winston Open here at Talladega?
Holy cow. 211. And the 87?
Yes, sir. In the 87 cars, 212 miles an hour. Track record.
That's some blazing speed out there. Wow. Yeah, I would expect. I think that right after that, I think, is when they started thinking about plates. I can't remember when those were actually brought into existence or required at a track like this to try to help slow these guys down.
Definitely, that's got to be some point where the restrictor plates came in. Probably not till later in the date.
Right. What do you say we get this one back underway? I think it's time. I think it's time.
Yes, let's.
Let's get going here. Geico restart zone. This will be taken off by Luke Smith. Here we go. Back underway. Luke Smith getting out to an early lead. Austin Spencer in the 13 starting to chase. 49 waiting for a little help from the 42. William Page getting ready to start snugging up in the Air Force machine. Outside line. This is exactly what I've been talking about. Watch the outside line. Turn exit speed. Here they come.
That's one good thing about the outside line is you definitely get the run down the back straightaway. But when it comes to the corners, you want to be on that inside line because the outside line's going to kill you in the corners.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's probably why we see a lot of guys, why they end up sliding to the inside and not hang to the outside as much. It does keep a lot of more competition there to the outside. Notice how William Page is actually peeling off here a little bit. Got up to the front, and now he's deciding to elect to go backwards.
Decisions on William Page's part as he is now going to lag back to the back of the field.
Yep, outside the top 10, still rolling back, 14th position now. And around they go. 94, Colby Martin gets around him. I think 14th probably where he'll probably snug in here, and he'll get right behind Steven Merzlak in the Sim Rapid market. Chevrolet out there in the number 12, sitting 12th currently. Notice how we got some issues. It looks like the Iowa machine's sliding around.
I actually saw that. That was a really, really good save by the 13 of Austin Spencer. That's who that was. Really good save.
Yep, right now they're trying to figure out how to keep it still alive out there. And right now checking out there in the chat. Looks like Dale Jr. 88 rocks. Out there rocking in the middle. And Stella, all right, plates were put on the car in 87.
Work. Thank you, Stella. We appreciate it.
After Bobby Allison was in a wreck and took out a bunch of the fencing in the track. I thought somebody got killed on that one. Or was that Pocono?
Oh, that wasn't Pocono. That was here at Talladega.
Yeah, I thought they went through the fence, and I thought some tire came off and it might have killed somebody. Yeah. Well, they definitely tried to fix that, and even with the safety barrier walls as well. Check out the outside line here. Darren Ingram. He's getting caught. William Page already getting ready to slice back into the top 10 again. Page decided not to elect to take the bottom line, use the aerodynamic bubble, and pull his way up to the front. And we're almost 4 wide here in the back. Wow, hopefully this calms down just a little bit. Remember, 13 of Austin Spencer was loose before. Jack Healy and Tyler Stallhood getting close together again. That's the 77 machine and the 3. Ford and Chevy going at it. Whoa, Page, hang in there.
That was really close. Great job by William Page to hold on to that.
Well, the back of this field right now, these guys look like they're in it to win it. 3 wide, almost 4 wide heading into the turn here. As they sling on back right now, a terrible place to be, where the number 9 to Darrell Harris. At least he's got an escape route to the inside, but holy cows, he got a lot of things happening right up in front of him. To sit right on top of his car, and you'll see what exactly happens to the outside. As you see, the 06 gets a little bit of a run. The 06 of Huang Do, remember he is, I believe, a few laps down out there. Wow, what is happening? We're going to be in there for this wreck. Boom! Oh, my gosh. Look out. As we sat on top, I would say I didn't hear the accelerator let off on that one. I think he was feeling a little lucky on that run. Holy wow. That one collected a lot. That one might be the one. I think Jack Healy's in it again. No way. You don't think he... No way. You don't... Yeah, it might be. I wonder. I gotta know. It's nothing on him, but I do want to know. This has got to be... Oh, no, it's collecting up front. Where the 13 machine is.
I do know how that was started. Watch the 3 of Tyler Stallhood.
All right, so Tyler Stallhood is our guy in question. And we'll see if I can find him here. Where's Tyler Stallhood? Showing he's still sitting currently in 5th. So, no way. How's this guy get through so many wrecks and he's still alive? Man, I'm not saying I want him killed out there, but... Wow. That's where the 49 rotates down. But look how the 13 and the 3 end up knocking out the back of the field here. All right, Douglas, you notice how the 3 does get loose here on this turn as we get ready to sling into the turn. Can you explain why the car gets loose when he's even sitting in the middle lane here?
It all has to do with possibly the air getting taken off of somebody's car when it comes to like the side draft of some sort, because side draft can definitely kill you as well on this track.
Yeah, as we're taking a little bit of a slow-mo, notice how the 31 rotates out from the middle lane, which pushes a bunch of air that started at the right side of the car and moved down to the left. Then it ends up giving him a suction toward the 49. He tries to overcorrect or try to get collection back of the car. Gets into the 49. The 13 definitely hammers into him there. And that, unfortunately, starts the chain reaction we saw from there. So Scott Fleener, heck of a job here tonight. And unfortunately, he is going to be almost knocked out here of this race. We'll speed it up here just a little bit, and you'll see what happens. 77. Boy, 77 netcode up into him. Oh, no, he clipped the bottom car. Around 9, boom. On his lid.
Yeah, so it looks like cars that were collected in that incident were Darrell Harris, Austin Spencer, Scott Fleener, Ace Nelson, and Jack Healy.
All right. Pit stop still underway for some. Krasneski sitting in pits. So I believe that is Steven Merzlak. Yep, he's working his way on out. I think William Page getting ready to square that one up just a little more. Tyler Stallhood. Michael Murata sitting in the 62 Chevrolet. Scott Fleener, he got a heck of a lot of damage on that machine. 49 Toyota sitting currently 22nd. Austin Spencer in the 13. And we rode along with Darrell Harris. We already know what happened to him. He's got smooshed up pretty good. All right, a couple more guys rejoining down pit road now. I did see the caution flag was straight up out there for Barney, so we should be getting double file there as drivers a lap down are going to get the wave around. Drivers who did decide to stay out. Looks like the 97 of Cam Barnes. The 39 Chevrolet out there of Luke Smith, and the 31 there of Noah Joyce. All right, now everybody ganging right back up behind him. Benjamin White as well, Antonio Ruiz, Zachary Webster, Darren Ingram, Joseph Weaver, Austin Hakes getting back up to speed, and Colby Martin. These will be our top 10 getting kicked off on that. Right now, Bill out there is recommending a medic. Man, this is getting tough out there. And how well are they going to be able to hold on? Right now, you see Page sitting 46 seconds down. He's going to be playing chase here with the rest of the field. And yes, they have to slow down and get in line. You cannot be full speed when the green drops. That's a big no-no. Everybody has to cross the line in order. Looks like Krzyzewski, I think, is able to save it here. The 05 working his way on out. I think that'll only put him a single lap down, though. Not mistaken. Actually, Krzyzewski, I believe, will actually be on the lead lap here.
He will be. He will be back on the lead lap.
Ooh, man, he better hurry. Oh, he better hurry. Pace car working off. Oh, Krzyzewski better hurry. Oh, man. Let's check a look out there. That's where the 05 is. He does have a little bit of time before they can get in the Geico restart zone. He better have the hammer down. Fortunately, he'll be at full speed when he comes up. 170 miles an hour, so these guys got to pick up another 100 miles an hour to get up to his speed. As we enter the Geico restart zone, away we go. Cam Barnes taking off. Right now, Barnes will have the lead for the moment. As they sling past Barney now for the 30th time here tonight. Right now, it looks like the 05 is not going to have enough speed to catch him here. And I think he's going to be way off. The number 3 machine getting back out there of Tyler Stallhood. And that may be one of our guys going yet another lap down. I know we haven't said anything much out there about some of our guys who have been in a couple of tangle-ups. Garrett Sidnor has actually been able to return back to the race. Sat down there since lap 8 for him for 6.5 minutes. He has now returned back out there onto the track. Decent shape, not 100%, but he's back out there and still toying around with the rest of the field. Definitely appreciate him coming out there, and why guys should go back out there and continue racing is the amount of guys who end up in any sort of trouble or end up getting banged up. Definitely want to have an opportunity to continue shuffling back on up as the more guys who end up taking it back to the garage. Right now, I am showing Jack Healy as our next driver to take it down into the garage. He completed 25 laps. This will allow Huang Do and Garrett Sidnor to pick up one more position as they get around the track a couple more times for them.
Once again, while we were talking about that, it looks like Zachary Webster once again into the back of the field after being up front.
Yeah. Well, right now, that seems to be the most dangerous place is here toward the back. As we've got guys shuffling around here again. Outside line, that's going to give William Page a huge opening. Page is going to slide up to 7th, now 6th. Waiting to see if that outside line led by Darren Ingram is going to do anything out there.
Looks like they might have some help coming, and it looks like that might be the 18 of Blake Viken joining them.
Yep. All right, now Blake Viken out there is having a heck of a time. Right now he's trying to see if he can get one more person to line up behind him. And I know he's trying to kind of coax Dewey Schramm over that way. Schramm deciding not to make a full call there. He's looking for it. Right now he notices that middle line, so he's starting to reel him in. Going to use that outside line to his advantage. 30 rotates back down toward the middle. And the outside line is still going to be at a screeching halt. Right now they just need one more guy to give them a heck of a shove here to get the back of the field going. But notice that outside line. Boy, what was the bunch up here?
One car was really stepping out of the line there on the front stretch. That was Noah Joyce in the 31 completely stepping out of line.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought we saw somebody under the yellow line there, and it started in an accordion all the way back. Unfortunately, that dude's moved Cam Barnes all the way back to 5th place as he had the lead there for the moment. As we notice that we're taking a little look here, and I'm looking at the 31 as we speak, is a little bit of kind of a jerky motion as he's turning out there. The only times we kind of see a move like that, Douglas, is I've only one of two things. The steering ratio is too low, so we're maybe running an 8-to-1. So it's too jerky, or we're driving on a controller out there.
It's probably a good chance that it could be the steering ratio, because the steering ratio could really play into factor on how these cars handle in the corners.
Which is what is happening to the 18.
Just as we were talking about it, we got ourselves a caution.
Wow. All right, out there in the chat, Dale Jr. 88 rocks. I hope you're kidding. Douglas, yeah, I don't know if you can see the chat out there. They're saying the 31 is on a controller.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it does make the turning a little hard. You can't really just lean the joystick to make it rotate the way you want. All right, let's see what happens to Blake Viken here.
It looks like he just completely got loose, just overcorrected it.
I give it to him for locking it down, though. It's exactly what you want to do. Just come to a stop, and we'll deal with it.
So that way he at least didn't come back up into traffic.
Yeah, I see the the guys out there in the chat saying Noah Joyce is pretty competent out there on a controller. I would, yeah, I'll do it. Let's go ahead and get the fight going here a little bit. It's harder for your arms to get tired on force feedback than your thumb is on a joystick. So some guys after a long race, it'll get a lot more tiring rather than on a controller that guys can, play video games for hours at a time. I'm not saying the guy can't drive. All I'm saying is I think there may be a little bit of an offset of him having to tap left to get it going. So
The thing I could say is I give Noah Joyce a lot of credit for riding on a controller. Give him a lot of credit.
Yeah, especially at a plate track, man. Any kind of weird sudden movements, bad things can happen. So all right. All right, Blake Viken. Let's see if he's able to return. Right now, I see him sitting down in the pits for a minute and a half, and as I say that, he's leaving the box. Texas Longhorn going to be able to get back out there. William Page is still sitting there. Ha. Yeah, it looks like Dale Jr. out there is kind of agreeing with us. Yeah, it's kind of hard to hit that turn, make those marks, and do what you got to do out there. So, fortunately, these guys have given him the option to continue racing out there. Let's see what's happened to Joseph Weaver here. Jay out there is saying he just upgraded. Speaking on controllers, I just ordered the Logitech G920 with the shifter upgrade. Excellent.
Good choice, Jay. Good choice.
All right. Well, that's definitely work. I like the way you think. Is that a, Douglas, is that a direct drive unit?
No, that is not a direct drive unit.
Okay.
Normally a Logitech is something that you would see normally on like a PS4 or an Xbox One, something like that. But they can definitely be used for iRacing. I actually have one myself. I have a Logitech G923 that I use for my steering wheel.
Excellent. Is that a belt or gear driven?
I believe it is driven.
Okay.
Someone might have to correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay. Hey, buddy, I believe you. Right. Jay looking to upgrade. If you wonder about Jay out there in the chat, you can catch him actually on Thursdays. He's out there racing in the trucks with these guys. And Jay looking to try to turn some of his luck around out there and get back on the track.
It looks like the lights are back on the pace car, so we will not be going green this time.
No, yeah, it said something. John Peterson crashed out here. Oh, bro. Guys, we're under caution. Oh, man. The 43 machine not going to be a happy camper about that.
Some people are definitely going to take advantage of this and probably come down for full tank of fuel.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely, I would. I'd come down. Now's the chance to kind of level the playing field. If everybody comes down now or gets an extra couple laps of fuel because they're going to be going around at least 2 more times, is what I would assume. Pace car lights do seem to be off, though.
Yes, they are.
And right now, Davey out there saying they have not had a super speedway race like this in a while. It does, it's a completely different animal away from the 1.5 miles for the road course or even the short tracks. You know, it takes a lot of, it takes a lot of work here.
Speaking of a guy named Davey, I actually do have another piece of information from Talladega history that Davey Allison actually won his first Premier Series victory here at Talladega.
Is this, what you got?
Davey Allison.
Davey Allison.
Legend Davey Allison.
I think we were just talking out there about people dying. I think Davey Allison, he died from a helicopter crash pulling into Michigan, didn't he?
Haha. That one I'm not sure about. You might have to ask the chat about that.
Oh, bro.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know all of it.
You're getting some. Yeah, he was testing a helicopter. See, somebody out there knows. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I knew he didn't have a license. And I thought he was testing a helicopter. He came in, and I thought he was trying to land into Michigan and kind of ate it. It's a real heartbreaker.
All right, let's get back to green flag action here.
Yeah. Luke Smith, Benjamin White, Darren Ingram out front already. Here they come.
Ooh, Darren Ingram really made a hole for himself trying to get back on the inside.
Well, it looks like we are almost single filing out here. Not too much side-by-side racing out there, because I think everybody's just trying to churn this one on through. It is taking them a little bit. Haven't reached the halfway point yet. But at least Devry is happy about success, as this is the We Are Serious About Success 266 by Devry. Still giving it a good run here. Look at this run here on the outside.
Well, they are common.
Yep, Blake Veakin starting to finally get ahead of steam here as they sling past the start-finish line. Sliding to the outside is going to be Benjamin White in the 32. Holy cow, and the 18's letting him know about it.
Oh, the 18 definitely let him know. Hello, I'm here. As right now, it looks like we're going 3 wide right now for second.
Excellent. Right now, I probably would say everybody might gang up behind the 18. Yes, they are. But William Page decides to try to keep it dead center, though. Page is going to be able to close that gap as they still are 3 wide. About for the 3rd row back. Oh, 32 slices back to the inside. William Page. The only thing he's going to have is a little bit of door draft help. Looks like the 32 Great Clips machine slides back to the inside again. And he is kind of bobbing and weaving inside line behind Ingram. Or staying in the middle right next to the 18 of Blake Beacon. Beacon still holding on there.
Benjamin White definitely trying to make something happen there on the outside, and it looks like he is going to have some help. Oh, actually, strike that. He's weaving from inside, middle lane, outside lane. He's trying to pick a lane to see what works for him.
Yeah. I saw somebody jerk around back there. It was a blue and white car. And it looks like Noah Joyce got that car calmed down just a little bit out there. I think something started happening. As you can see, Austin Hakes starting to do a little bobbing around. I am noticing most of the pushing we're seeing out here is not requiring any sort of car contact. Guys are laying back just a hair. And not really nose to tail and start shoving each other. They are giving each other a little bit of room out there. As William Page is one of our drivers. Boy, look at the speed these guys are going. 190 miles an hour into turn 1. That's a pretty good clip there. Still 3 wide. I think Noah Joyce is getting ready to work his way up to the front as he breaks into the top 5, sitting dead center. Working on the 32, give him a shove. That's going to put Benjamin White in the lead. 31 starting to slide around. Whoa, hang it. Right now, Antonio Ruiz, who dropped all the way to the back of the field. Not but 4 or 5 laps into this race, is returning back here. Yep, that's top 5 for him. As he finally is getting the clear over Blake Beacon there on the outside. Darren Ingram going to make up a little bit of ground there. Try to see if he can slide that Snickers machine in there. And right now we are led by 3 Chevrolets of Benjamin White, Luke Smith, and Cam Barnes. And Antonio Ruiz, Noah Joyce, Blake Beacon, Ingram, and Hakes. All Toyotas here in the top 10. Finally getting back to a Ford is where we find William Page at. He now occupies 8th. And Cal Lovall moving into 10th. Yep.
Everybody's starting to find their lane now to the inside line. 3rd lane seemed to have died down as we are now back to 2 lanes. Right now, that outside line is trying to make something work again. Here with the speed, it looks like Blake Beacon is going to keep that outside line rolling. And right behind him is Austin Hakes and Jeremy Edwards.
Oof. Yeah, definitely good run here from everybody so far. Top 19 drivers are still on the lead lap. Tyler Stallhood will be the first one to get the lucky dog around if we end up back under caution. As pit road has been visited by many. Jace Nelson looks like he finally threw in the towel in the 59 Ford. He only made it about 18 laps. Jake Healy only made it 26 laps. He's bad down into the garage. That means Sid Norris still tumbling around out there and still laying down some time. Has moved himself into the 21st position. That's why you stay racing. Definitely when it starts coming down to the chase and you want to start watching the points, he's got to get back out there and go for it. So the Georgia Peanuts machine is sitting 21st, right behind Tyler Stallhood. And like I said, Stallhood's going to have a couple lucky dogs. I believe it will require 7? 7 or 8, yeah. Maybe 8. I think actually 8. 8 cautions to get Garrett Sidnor back on the lead lap. Oof. Yep, let's check in on Blake Beacon, who's working here on the outside. And I think he's going to have an opportunity here as he slinks into the front. Outside line working it there. Austin Hakes, yeah. Hakes now has the 20 of Jeremy Edwards sitting right behind him. Great Clips machine starting to slide on around a little bit. Noah Joyce, we saw him up in the top 3 there for a moment, has fallen all the way back to the 9th spot.
Looks like the outside line's going to have a little bit of backup because here comes the 5 car of Cal Laval trying to make some noise.
Wow. Look at this thing as these guys continue sliding around. I was kind of paying attention out there to the chat just a little bit. And Stella saying Alan Kowicki also died from a plane crash in the same year. Stella, isn't Kowicki our, boy, look at that. Austin Hakes. Look at something happened and bumped him out of the line. He's going to have to see if he can file back in. He is not running a good line. I think he might have finally found him a spot. Now still playing chase. Alan Kowicki, I thought he was our founder of the Polish lap.
Interesting.
Ah!
Pack is right now starting to approach a lap car right now. That is the 13 of Austin Spencer. It's about to go a lap down. Right now we have a big run coming from that outside line. Here comes Blake Veakin trying to make something happen on the outside line. Right behind him is the 20 of Jeremy Edwards giving him a little helping hand.
Yep, I could definitely use just one more. I think the number 5 there, Cal Laval, is going to take a look and try to see if he can push up to the front. Get one more little shove out there. He's definitely starting to close the gap. Outside line is going to work real double time now. Look at Cal. Right now he's rolling up there on the backside there of the 20 of Jeremy Edwards. And I'm sure Cal is tired of hearing it, but he might be trying a little shake and bake out there. See if he can get a little something going on with the 20. Notice how everybody is real spread out there on that outside line. Inside line is staying very very solid, very not moving around a whole lot.
Definitely with 4 cars on the outside line, you got to give them credit for holding on as long as they have. Especially, what's probably helping them is them getting so close there in the quarters on that side draft. It's going to definitely slow the inside line down.
Look at this. Oh, 20 decides to pop out of line here. And that's going to watch what it does to the 18. You see how it looks like it almost hits the brakes on him there? He is falling way back now. And having a chance to lead goes away. This is dropping him down to 4th until he meets back up with Cal. Now he's going to wait and see if Cal can push him here. Right now they've got plenty of drivers there on that outside line to make it work. It just doesn't look like anybody's doesn't seem to be making anything happen here. I do want to take a look. We're getting a little closer there. Blake Veakin's taking another sliding look there to the outside. He's getting his opportunity there. Looks like they're finally getting close enough to give him a shove. Right now,
Definitely got to get a little closer.
Yeah, and that's the thing and I think that's what Davey was trying to hint to out there is falling back just a hair. And these guys not racing super speedways. They're slowly having to kind of figure it out as they get going here. That they've got to get closer. Jay, you out there watching the football game? How could you? Oh, Benjamin White may have made a huge mistake here. Oh, that may have not been real good. Let's see if I can get a Michelin chopper chase cam. There we go.
It looks like the driver that ended up suffering the consequences from that was Blake Veakin, as he is starting to fall back a couple of positions right now.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, a couple of guys breaking into the top 10 as Jeremy Edwards in the 20 marches out. Dewey Schramm marches in. He's now 10th. That gives him 18 here on the night. Not bad for starting 28. Still slicing his way back up to the front here. Right now, Steven Merzlak sitting 14th. Colby Martin is now 15th. Krzyzewski 16th. Joseph Weaver sitting in the 17th position. And our last driver on the lead lap is Zach Krastowski in the number 4.
Now they're about to approach the lap car of Tyler Stallhood. Stallhood kindly gets out of the way. Right now, outside line is starting to form back up, and now with the new leader of the outside line, Cal Laval is now trying to lead that outside pack.
Yeah. Keep slicing them around. Everybody trying to figure out what they're going to do. Chase cam here with Dewey Schramm is knocked out of the top 10 now. Zach sitting along here with Jeremy Edwards in the number 20. Notice how Benjamin White has regained the lead. And Benjamin White originally starting in the 21st position.
Wow.
Yeah, leading the race now. Cal Lovall actually started, I think, right almost next to him. He's 18 positions up here on the race. Wow. Alrighty. We break past our halfway point here. Still leading the race is Benjamin White, Cal Lovall. Luke Smith still dicing it up here. He's been up here all night, so is Cam Barnes. He's sitting 4th. Noah Joyce is 5th. Antonio Ruiz 6th. Blake Beacon sits 7th. Jeremy Edwards is 8th. Darren Ingram and Austin Hakes go ahead and occupy 9th and 10th. Original starting positions there for the end of our top 10. We'll see how they can hang on, but we'll go ahead and I know it's I think it's a patented design now, is do a crank it up session here. These guys have finally been under green here for a good while. I believe it was since lap 39 we have been under green, so we're finally ticking them off now. Going for it. So we'll get into a little bit of a crank it up session here. We'll probably bring it back around about lap 62, 63, and we'll be right back. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here with USORL Cup Series here at Talladega. The We're Serious About Success 266 by Devry. Right now, Benjamin White still hanging up front there in the Great Clips Chevrolet, but Noah Joyce coming alive here, 23 positions up from his original qualifying position. That is him there on the outside in the Carolina Tar Heels. Right now, he is continuing on through. He's trying to see if he can figure out if he can hold them off. Right now, a couple of guys are seeing if they can slice toward the inside of him there. Jeremy Edwards was taking a peek as he has been wiggling around a good bit here tonight. Shooting across the line yet again to get lap number 64 underway here. And they are still fighting out there a whole bunch. The only driver finally returning back where he was Austin Hakes. He's sitting there for 10th. And right now we still have at least 26 drivers still out there racing. Right now I don't know if John Peterson is going to be able to return out there. He's been in the box for almost 25 minutes. Austin Spencer out there in the 13. We've seen how he's been doing. Last time he came down pit was on lap 26 for a 20-minute repair. And the 13 machine getting back out there, knocking down some laps. Still Sidnor and Huang Do sit 21st and 22nd out there. And Fleener just hoping those guys get knocked out, because that'll give him a chance to move up a couple more spots. He too as well came in on lap 26 for almost 12 minutes of repair. So a boatload of trouble out there on the track. We have been green here for over about 30 laps. And I'm pretty excited to see that happen, as these guys are definitely ticking the laps away very, very quickly. About another 20 laps, 25 laps or so, we're going to see guys really start turning up the heat and start sliding around the track, start pushing past each other, and definitely these guys are going to want to start taking the lead immediately. So Douglas, we have get this one rounded up here. Guys are getting pretty excited, but I would say all these guys out there are starting to get a little tired, and this is where things start happening.
Things are definitely going to be starting happening soon, especially with 34 laps to go now. Drivers are going to start getting, try getting friends together, as it looks like you have Noah Joyce now stepping out of line, and he looks like he'll be going to the back of the field.
Yeah, well, he had his time up there in the light. He's going ahead marching himself out of the top 10 here. And definitely, man, I don't know if that's where I want to be, is here toward the back. So much trouble definitely starts brewing whenever you get farther backwards. But that is going to do it for him. Looks like he comes to a halt there in 15th. Especially being up there in the top 3. Antonio Ruiz rejoining back up front. Looks like he's finally getting his time back into the lead area where he originally qualified for. Started in second next to Jeremy Edwards, and those two are about to meet each other yet again.
Looks like Benjamin White is going to try and make something happen on the sideline, trying to regain the lead that he's been having for a little bit. On the outside line, leading that outside charge is the 20 of Jeremy Edwards. Looks like he's going to settle back in spot number 2. And also right behind, it looks like Cal Laval is going to still try to make something happen on the inside. But just look at the line. Just look at how the outside line gets that run on the straightaway. It's just impressive.
Yeah, we got a couple of guys trying a few things out there. Jeremy Edwards is actually the driver who started on the pole here tonight. Antonio Ruiz started second. Those two are definitely trying to work together, but Jeremy Edwards bails out and moves to the inside line. 32 machine knows all about it. Benjamin White is going to get the lead right back here as soon as the 11 can get caught back up. Antonio Ruiz definitely had the brakes hit on him there as the 20 machine slid out of the way. So right now I'm waiting to see which Chevrolet is going to lead this. Is Jeremy Edwards or is Benjamin White going to continue leading this one? That's going to be a big move. Notice who's on the outside. Dewey Schramm is out there by himself in the third line. Nobody else is joining him out there. Looks like he's looking to see if he can get in behind Yeah, no Joyce in the 31, so that's what I'm looking for is the 31 Toyota, and he is snugged in behind Colby Martin in the 94 Chevrolet, who is into the top 10 finally, getting back up there and still trying to hold on for the remainder of this race. Lap 69 halfway complete here. We should see them cross 4 lap 70 with no problem. I would say here at Talladega, at 2.5 miles long, and these guys are chipping away at it at 50 seconds a lap. That's cooking.
That's definitely is cooking, but you also have to wonder, what is the fuel strategy for everybody right now? I know we've had a couple of cautions and everybody managed to come in and top off with fuel. You gotta be wondering what the fuel situation is for some of these guys.
Yeah, you're right. And 100% fuel limit, I would expect to see these guys probably have to pit here within the next 10 laps is what I would assume. Will anybody take tires? I would probably say no tires until caution. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to sacrifice an extra 7 seconds and be caught outside of the draft or outside of even pack pitting is what they're going to have to do. I mean, if you see 4 or 5 guys come down and pit, you better pit as well rather than going out there and being the only one down pit road, and then that's going to kind of seal your fate for the rest of the night. Let's hope kind of root on Cam Barnes out there, though, as the 97 Chevrolet trying to get back up front.
One car stepping out on the outside line. That is Antonio Ruiz now stepping out of line, and he's going to drift backwards.
Yeah. Well, Ruiz, all the way from the back, and is fighting his way up to the front. And he's noticing he can do it. He can get up to the front at will and slice through the field, work with the right people, and start getting the real move on here. So Ruiz marching out of this one, I don't blame him. I might as well, instead of tumbling up front where you're wondering who's going to pit, if you're in the lead or probably the top 5 cars, everybody could pit behind you, and that might be a real trick coming back out of pit road.
I can tell you right now, it looks like the front pack is starting to get really, really dicey as we've seen cars shuffling around all over the place.
Well, William Page wants to get into the lead here. Outside line for him, as I believe that is Cal sitting right behind him. Cal Lovell, we're sitting there working on it there, is 4th currently. Now he's slicing back and forth there with Luke Smith for the 5th position. But can he get going? I've got to give it right now for the leader of this race, Benjamin White, for being out front so long. He has been marched out a couple of times and has just boomeranged and gotten right back into the lead. And it doesn't seem like too many people are real concerned about passing him at this point. Any idea why?
Oh, it may be still a little bit too early, and especially with green flight pit stops probably coming around the corner, nobody's going to be really anxious to make any moves unless you're on that outside line. That's going to be looking in on the inside line very, very soon. But as of right now, we probably won't be seeing any big moves till probably maybe about lap 90 or so when it comes to that.
Yeah. I would just wonder if they're okay with going ahead and following behind and letting him use up all the power he's got and all the fresh air in the front. And they're the ones that are actually lasting on fuel, as the 32 is using more fuel, more air, and more of the track to stay out front. So they may be just tailing behind and just saying, nobody want to lead it for a while? By all means, go ahead and let it go.
You also can't forget, we're talking about Benjamin White using up a lot of fuel. We also have to include William Page, who is leading that outside line. He's definitely burning up a lot of fuel by being in that clean air.
Yeah, that he is. Davey Hazard out there saying we're fixing to see pit stops here pretty soon. So got pretty close, about 25 laps before checkered flag here at the end. And will we see a caution of guys having to pit? So we'll kind of keep an eye on it and see if anybody decides to take. No takers this time by. We come to the line to get lap number 75 underway. 26 laps left in this race here at the USORL Cup Series. They have more than one series here going with this league. Truck Series out there on Thursdays. You can definitely tune in as we are bringing you the playoffs from them. And definitely a good starter league to get kicked off on there. Dale out there saying a silent lap for the 75 for Davey Hazard. Love it. All right, number 4.
There we can see the car starting to single out, and it looks like green flag pit stops are starting to come underway now.
Oh, is it going to be able to stop? Nope. The 20 may be penalized for sliding out of the line into the grass. And definitely, possibly, I would probably say a speeding penalty. He was in there way too hot. So Edwards,
that is
Beacon, Hakes, Ingram, Ruiz, Krasinski, Joyce, and Weaver come on down. And go ahead there, Douglas. What were you going to say, my man?
It is going to be confirmed. Jeremy Edwards did get a black flag, too fast entering pit lane, as well as the 18 of Blake Viken, too fast entering pit lane.
No! So the Texas Longhorn guy representing out there is going to have a long pit stop. And it looks like the rest of the field is going ahead and electing to come on down. Remember what I was saying earlier about some people not pitting Colby Martin? He hasn't been in pit since lap 35. He's now going to have the lead and definitely have a wide margin out front as he's in front of Darren Ingram, who's currently 10th by 40 seconds. Wow. Well, definitely he's going to try it on, though. Bill Harkins, good night, buddy. Appreciate you joining us here at the broadcast. And we will be patiently awaiting the Bandit Racing League to return back on September 25th.
Can hardly wait for that, as I will be participating in that race.
Say what? Really? All right. News to me.
Yes.
All right. Awesome. Benjamin White coming on out. Looks like 2 tires and fuel for him. Cam Barnes as well. Looking to see how many guys decide to take 4. I think William Page took 4. Oddly enough. Deciding to throw his hat in there and check out Darren Ingram. This is what I was talking about pack racing, being able to use it to your advantage. Colby Martin coming down all by himself. And it looks like Benjamin White, I think, is going to resume the lead. And right now, they say a sitting duck is the guy in first.
Definitely, but look at the run that Darren Ingram has got. He's got the run of a lifetime. Right now going into spot number 4, and right behind him is Austin Hakes. Both trying to make some moves now, as this could be the run that they need.
Well, they could definitely use a little more help out of the guys up front before that front pack starts to squeeze away from them. As they get side by side, I believe that should be with the number 50 machine of Garrett Sidnor. Sidnor and Page almost 1 and 2 there. Whoop. Catching back up to Colby Martin. That's the driver who came down by himself. And it looks like possibly a fuel and go. 9.18 for him. Good call. Do not want to take tires. You got to get back out there as soon as possible. So he is looking to salvage a top 10 finish here. Uh-oh. Oh, man. 94 machine coming back down pit road. I wonder if he's got a hold here.
Yep, another black flag. Colby Martin looks like too fast entering pit lane. He did a pass through, and his black looks like it got cleared, so that really hurt for him.
Oh man. All right. Well, hopefully this continues though. Right. You can't see how that's still gonna hang out there and try not to kill it out there. Zachary Corbin out there saying my rolling ticker's down. Still showing good to you out there, Doug?
It looks like it.
Okay. I'm wondering if you caught it right there when it starts to loop around again. That's all right. We'll keep it going. We'll keep it going. Right now, Cam Barnes out there in front. But Benjamin White leading the race. Single file. Notice how nobody's poking out, though. Great pit stops by our guys up front here. I wonder if William Page with 4 tires out there is going to have the upper hand at any point during this race. 14.17 sitting in the box. He's going to be looking to kind of churn this away and make some time for himself out front. I'm impressed at Benjamin White being able to lead this much of the race. And 7 seconds back from all this is where we start back there with Noah Joyce, Antonio Ruiz, Steven Merzlak, and Dewey Schramm. Guys all the way back here got a long way to go to catch back up. Right now that front pack is starting to put distance on them as the guys here in the back we're noticing are a little discombobulated. They've got to get these guys back in line. There we go. Let's see. Zachary Corbin out there saying, can't wait to hear your glorious voice commenting the debut race. Okay.
Looks like that front pack is consisted of our top 8 drivers. Oh, interesting enough, it looks like Benjamin White looks like he's backing out of the lead.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's concerned about being passed on the final lap. He might want to definitely take heed the warning that we're putting out there. That sitting in that number 1 spot is probably the worst place you can be. I've seen guys win from 4th, even 8th position, but that only 8th because there was a huge pileup. I believe a driver, I can't remember. I thought it was Michael Wiley who might have made it for the win out there. It's possible. We'll see. Let's see how many more guys we can get up toward the front here. I'm hoping the ones toward the back are going to get their stuff together here with 18 to go. They're 7.5 seconds off pace, though, which is, to me, almost a real deal breaker there, seeing that they are just unable to get themselves together. Noah Joyce leading that pack. Now he's down by 8 seconds. Yuck. Only 16 drivers remain on the lead lap. There's been a bunch of problems out there on the track. I only had a few cautions out there. First one started back on lap 6. Huang Do, Garrett Sidnor, John Peterson were involved. We had another one that happened, I think, lap 17 with Jace Nelson. And then I believe we had the big one right after that. That collected Michael Murata, Scott Fleener, Jack Healy. John Peterson got collected as well. I think Darrell Harris was trying to avoid. He got collected in a little bit of it. And he had to come back in the pits to get that squared away. And then one last caution flag that collected Blake Beacon out there and John Peterson for the final time. And he came back down in the pit road and has been there ever since. The last 42.5 minutes, that would be a real eye-opener to see him return back to the race. Let's go ahead and take a look at our guys here in the front that are getting ready to catch the back of the pack. That is Cal, Lovell, Blake Beacon, and Jeremy Edwards, and right here is Cam Barnes. So they are catching him quick. Would probably say they are in serious danger going to at least a single lap down here when they cross the line at 15 to go.
It looks like in the front of the pack here, it looks like Benjamin White's trying to make something happen on the outside line, but the problem is he's got no help.
Yeah, that's the only thing about marching outside. On the outside and letting the field pass you when he had the lead. So right now we'll see if Benjamin White is able to use any sort of door draft here and slice his way up to the front.
Woohoo!
That's a no. Fifth place is what he's going to settle for now. See if he can get a run out there. Sitting behind Darren Ingram, I expect to see him slide to the outside yet again. See a couple more guys out there. Now, ones that are still rotating around, laps down. Zachary Webster, Zach Krostowski, Huang Do, Garrett Sidnor, Scott Fleener. Out there, Daryl Harrison, Austin Spencer. Those are the ones that are currently still mobile. Right now, Michael Murata is working, still sitting in pit for over 3 minutes in the 62 machine. Tyler Stallhood and John Peterson still sitting in the box. All right. Insane speed out there. It's showing Joseph Weaver had a crazy top speed, which is impossible. I think he might have blinked out and he's working his way back at it again. Driver's going some laps down here.
As of right now, they still haven't caught those three that are currently right in front of them, but it looks like they will be catching them probably within the next 1 or 2 laps.
Yep. Yeah, not looking good. Right now, we're taking a look at Cal sitting here at a 51.21, and our guys with Cam Barnes are sitting at a 50.77. So they are half a second faster each and every lap that they are catching them here. And now we're starting to collect them both in the screen. And it'll take effect here in a moment. I would say, Douglas, as we get as this kind of winds down just a little bit. Cam Barnes, Luke Smith, William Page are 2 guys in the front 3. Or 3 guys in the front 3. No nuts. These lapped cars could be a little bit tricky. If you don't pass them right, you could have somebody try to sling around. You could get jammed up. Somebody could get pinched and end up shuffling up these top clutch of 8 drivers.
Most definitely, that could take place with lap cars, but never know. A lap car could end up being your best friend when it comes to like the last pass here at Talladega. Like Garrett Sidnor, he's currently that 3rd car that's in the pack right now, but he is a couple of laps down. Could be provided help with somebody if they need it.
Yep, well, it looks like they go ahead and stay close to the wall as these guys move to the inside. 32 trying to use door draft from both sides. Give it to him for trying, though. I don't think he's going to have enough. Slide back to the inside. Right now, 32 machine out there of Benjamin White would like to get back into the game here. As we cross the line with 11 to go, I think it's pretty safe to go ahead and start getting the vote out there in the chat. Guys, who do you think is going to win this race? Cam Barnes, who's in the lead. Luke Smith, who's second. William Page, who's third. Benjamin White is currently sitting fourth. And then we get to our Toyotas with Darren Ingram, Austin Hakes, Justin Krzyzewski, who's seventh, and Joseph Weaver. Right now, it would take an act of good faith out there for Noah Joyce to catch up as he is 14 seconds off of pace.
Definitely right now with the ticker striking lap 90, it's definitely going to be a make or break moment for a lot of these guys. As time is starting to wind down, we are going to 9 to go.
Yep. Now, it looks like a few votes out there are rooting on Cam, saying Cam deserves the win here. Calling for Page possibly second, and White will end up being third. Would require Luke Smith to pop out here in the 39 machine. He has not left Cam Barnes here for the last 20 laps. He has been stuck to him like glue.
Now, if you're Cam Barnes, you really got to watch your rearview mirror and make sure that nobody's coming on that outside line. You're going to have to watch your mirror in all directions.
Yep. All drivers here in the top 5 do not have a win here at Talladega. Looks like we may be crowning ourselves a new race winner here for the USORL League. 9 laps left to go. Barnes still in front. Luke Smith sitting second. Right now out there, Zachary saying he's thinking the 39 needs to pit. Maybe. Luke Smith came in on lap 76, exact same time with a 12.5-second pit stop time. I think probably Luke Smith put a set of right side tires on.
Once again, Benjamin White looked like he tried to make a move on the outside. Once again, he had no help.
Yep, Jay out there saying he had some trouble out there in the trucks. Cam Barnes, pretty excited. Hopefully he doesn't start mirror driving here. 8 to go. We look at about 19 miles left in this race. And drivers are going to really start getting beside themselves here of who is going to make the move. Because somebody's going to have to make the daring shot here to the outside. And they've got to have followers, or otherwise you give up even your own position. Say at 32 out there, Benjamin White is trying to conjure up something here toward the back, seeing if he can get Ingram involved and Hakes involved. And we'll end up 2 to 3 wide heading at the line. 7 to go.
No, everybody's staying single file right now, keeping heads level as of the moment. Question is who makes the move. Oh, and there they go.
Alrighty, to the outside, Benjamin White here starting. Right now, use a little bit of the door draft to help the drivers behind him. Here it comes. Right now, Cam Barnes is going to be puckered up here, because he's going to see him coming. Cam Barnes and Luke Smith working on the same team here. Benjamin White is as well, but he's getting ready to lose the lead. Benjamin White working here on the outside line, to the line. If that were the race, I think Benjamin White would have had it.
They're still saying side-by-side action.
Go ahead, yeah. I do want to ask you, in a situation like this, you've been here.
Yes.
How nervous are you? You're up front, you're top 5. What happens now? We got 6 to go. Guys are already moving around, slicing out there on the field. How nervous are you getting right when we're coming down to the very end?
You're definitely nervous as of this point. Your eyes are just focusing in front of you and in back of you. Your palms and your hands are getting sweaty. Your nerves are starting to go a little bit. It's just a matter of wants it more.
I was going to say, normally guys' nerves get a little shot there when it starts getting later into the race. First thing you start thinking is, can I do it? Can I do it? This might be my chance. As you see Benjamin White making cutoff there to Darren Ingram. Ingram has given him a little, what do you call it, the chrome horn? As they give him the nudge, 97 of Cam Barnes now starting to push Benjamin White out to the front. Giving him an even bigger lead. Right now, 32. Notice that little jerk motion there by the 32. The outside line was getting a run, but a good move there by Cam Barnes to push Benjamin White, his teammate, up to the front here. Gives him another shove, so he'll be lead by at least a car length here. So everybody's worming around here in the back. V can think about sending it 3 wide. Outside line again. Good shot there by Barnes to give him another nudge forward. Let's do it again. Yes. Car length ahead. So Benjamin White going to be running it to the line here with 3 to go. When they get around and past, right now I'm waiting to see if the rest of those guys in the back.
Look at that outside line coming. Darren Ingram starting to sneak his nose in there.
Yeah, and you got to give it to Austin Hakes. Great job by Hakes getting out front and giving him a shove right there at the line. Right now the 28 of Hakes. Hale holding in there for 4th. Number 5 machine might be the anchor of our run here. But Cal Laval is actually a lap down, sitting 14th. Mixing it up in here with these guys. Ooh, the number 5's getting loose. I hate to see that as we move back just a little bit farther to get a full view of how our guys look here with 2 to go at the line. Back in the lead is Benjamin White. And Cam Barnes is boxed in. He's got nowhere to go. Lap goes to Benjamin White across the line as they shoot around this turn. Notice how that outside line, it is already gaining speed through the turn. Excellent move. Hakes is going to try to shove the 21 out to the front. But watch how Cam Barnes is nudging his teammate there on the bottom. Wow, what a great run.
And Barnes giving him a really big push down the back straightaway.
Yeah, right now, I don't know if Darren Ingram is going to be able to fight and hold that up. Getting ready to come across the line here. Talk to me about it. If you're Benjamin White, are you in a good spot?
You're a sitting duck as of right now. You got to watch both lanes right ahead of you, right in back of you now.
All right. White flag is out. Final lap. Here we go. Benjamin White out front. Darren Ingram sitting to the side. Cam Barnes pushing his teammate down in front on the bottom of the 32. But can Austin Hakes do just enough to help get his friend out front of Darren Ingram? Hakes has been working hard here all night, wants to find another angle. Can he get it here? Now everything normally happens in the dog leg. As we head into turn number 3, Darren Ingram's got the lead. 32 breaking loose. Slides off the racing surface and is coming back up. Don't know if there was any contact, but we're going to keep an eye on our guys here to the line. Shooting up front, Darren Ingram has the lead. Can Austin Hakes slide around him here? Hakes taking a look.
Yep.
Hakes going to break to the outside. Running to the line. 32 makes a block and no can do. Darren Ingram's going to win this one.
Wow.
Yeah, Darren Ingram coming away with the win. Austin Hakes was second. Benjamin White, not bad for an 18 position gain here. I'm going to say we definitely want to check back on turn 3 and see what got our driver Benjamin White out of sorts here. And kind of figure out what exactly caused the 32 machine to wig out a little bit heading into the turn. It looked like everything was fine. He had the lead. But I don't know if 97 gave a bad push or what here. But we're going to see how they shoot around the turn. Here's entering 3. Ingram down into the side of the 32. I'm sure they're going to have a couple words about that one as they get up to the interview room here in just a moment. Great job, though, by Darren Ingram. Coming away with a win, though. We'll find. There he is. There you go. I was going to say, burn that clutch out. Wow, what a race. What a race. It's interesting to see Hakes not passing Ingram, though. I thought he had him. I thought he was going to set him up and sling on by. But normally, your leader does not come away with the win. Cam Barnes knocked all the way down to 6th. See if we can find all of our guys there. Show you guys the back of the pack here. Yep, that was only 13 drivers that were able to make it. I think Colby Martin was in danger of going a lap down, though. That was definitely close. All right, excellent job, guys. Hold on just a moment. Let's run these guys down and talk about this race. Alrighty, guys, we catch up with our third place finisher here tonight, Benjamin White. You led a huge chunk of this race, but were unable to finish it in that 32 Chevrolet. Talk to me about the Great Clips machine and how that Camaro did out there.
Well, it was a fun race. We were working good with teammates there. Luke Smith, Cam Barnes, Cal before he got his penalty in pit road. And even Garrett, I know he was 7 laps down, but he was working good. And also William Page, like all of us were working pretty well in line, and you could see that. I know Cam got me loose around like lap 85 or something. I went to the back of that pack, charged back forward, and grabbed the lead again. Started trying to control not only the lanes, but the temperatures of the pushers, because obviously you got to get some airflow in them front ends there. So I was just trying to keep the 97 engine temperatures cool. So, you know, he would be able to push me to the end. And then going into 3, we were drag racing with Darren, and I don't know. I feel like I held a complete line through there, and Hakes didn't push him. And next thing I knew, I was off the racetrack because I got hit in the right side. So I don't know what the point of that was. I know I blocked him a few laps before that, but I mean, we're racing to the end. So, I mean, that's how we'll race. We'll race that way. But I mean, still, it was fun. I appreciated him, you know, trying to make something happen, not sitting in line to the end there. We made that outside line work, and he did a good job pushing me to the front. Just after we were battling for the win, he just threw me off the racetrack. But I mean, third place, I'm not going to complain. I had fun. Just wish it was a cleaner run to the end is all.
Yeah. Well, I know what I noticed earlier during the race. Darren Ingram seemed to do a lot more door drafting than some. I know they kind of pulled down, get real close with the cars. I think you tried it, around lap 70, I believe. Right after you guys came out of the pit, I noticed you were trying to create a line and trying a little bit of door drafting to see if anybody would help you, but no one would help you that early into the final stint there. And I think it looked like Darren Ingram, after about 4 laps of trying that, it looked like it kind of sucked him down into you and unfortunately pushed you off the track. And Benjamin, it was still really great race here. No matter what, man, it was definitely an awesome run. Now, talk to me a little bit about what you've got coming up and what you guys have done for the upcoming race, seeing that it is going to definitely be a full plate here coming up pretty soon. As right now, I believe we leave Talladega and move on to Darlington, if I'm not mistaken. Right now, that is going to be a tough race there on the 14th. How confident you feel in a racetrack like that?
Unfortunately, I already know that I can't make it to the next race. I've been part-time for 2 seasons now, and just been trying to chase checkered flags. And at the end of these races, I've had some pretty terrible luck, especially since the start of the new season. So at some point, I think I'll get one. But my races here are few and far between, and so I'm just trying to chase checkered flags and win races.
Bummer. All right, buddy. Well, hopefully we'll see you when we see you then. Go ahead and give me a shout-outs while I got you here in the booth.
Just want to shout out my team and my teammates, Cam, William Page, Luke Smith, Garrett Sidner, John Peterson, and Cal Laval. All of them were good teammates tonight, and was fun working with them.
All right, Benjamin. Congratulations on your third place finish, man, and we'll see you next time.
Appreciate it. Y'all have a fantastic night.
You too. All right, and you can definitely feel there's a little bit of pain in his interview there. I guarantee he's not real happy with how that one ended. Let's move on to Austin Hakes, who was our second place finisher. I believe we finally caught up with Austin Hakes. Austin, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. How are you doing?
Doing all right, man. I guarantee you, Darren is pretty happy with you. You were doing a whole lot of pushing here tonight.
Yeah, at the end there, we had a plan. Just whenever he got a good run and thought he could go to the top, I'd push him. I felt like there for a little bit, it was just me and him. I couldn't really get whoever was behind me to push me that well. So then they made some contact going into 3, and that kind of paved the way for it.
Man, from your angle, it looked like Darren was trying to go down there and get a little bit of the door draft. How did it look out of the windshield of your car?
Yeah, I think he just maybe he misjudged. I'm not really sure, what he saw or what Ben saw. But yeah, I think it's just at the end of the day, it's hard racing, right? So they obviously Ben's gonna be upset. Darren's gonna be like, "Oh, what did I do?" Like the common conflict there. But I think it was hard racing. Maybe he got in there a little too low. I think he said he thought Ben got loose a little bit before that. So you'll have that at super speedways though.
Of course. Now, do you see anything like that normally at Darlington? With races like this.
I don't know if you'll see that, but you'll see something, and it might be a whole lot of wrecks. That's a tough track, man.
Yeah, I found that most guys, as soon as they can figure out the track, it's not a problem. You have a choice of either making your car good between 1 and 2 or between 3 and 4. I recommend through 3 and 4 because it's so much tighter and it's hard to get around there. But guys find out that they can go high at the beginning, low in the middle, high at the exit, and then try not to fly apart on the exit of 2. How confident are you feeling heading to Darlington?
Confidence. I wouldn't say I'm super confident. I've only raced there a couple of times, but I usually fare pretty well. I think the biggest thing is just taking care of your car. The walls come up quick, right? Like 1 and 2, you screw up your line in 1 and 2, you're gonna slam the wall. 3 and 4, it's a tighter corner, so there's also a chance to hit the wall, right? So just I think keeping it clean, that's the biggest thing. And then you usually have a shot at the end. Usually there's cautions and stuff. So just keeping it clean on the restarts and making it to the end, I think, is the biggest thing there.
All right, Austin. Shout out time.
Yeah, I just want to shout you guys out. You do a fantastic job. I always rewatch the broadcast. It's always a good time. Shout out my good friend Darren on the win. Congrats to him. My teammate Davey at PTR. He was sick, but he was in the race control tonight watching over the sky, so appreciate him.
Yeah, well, definitely. We glad he was up there. There were a couple I was nervous that iRacing wasn't going to throw any cautions on, but definitely we brought it to a stop. I hate seeing how John Peterson back on lap 37. Good Lord, I don't even know how to explain that one. But when you go back and look at it, you'll be like,
there's
dude.
some weird ones.
You're like, why? Why? How'd this happen? But Austin Hicks, congratulations on your second place finish. Hopefully you can duplicate that come Darlington. And yeah, like I said, the lady in black, man, she definitely attacks. So try to hang in there and get some practice time in. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Hopefully I see you in the broadcast booth at the end of that one.
Oh, yeah. All right, that moves us from Austin Hicks on to Darren Ingram, who is our race winner here. Darren Ingram, let's start on a good note here at the beginning of this one, that you are the 11th different driver to win here at Talladega. How's it feel?
Feels good. I've had a lot of seconds and thirds since the last time I was in victory lane, so I will cherish it, and especially at Dega. I always love coming down to Talladega and getting in victory lane.
Good old plate race, man. Definitely. Guys slide back and forth. You were actually had a top 10 start here tonight, but you did decide to drop toward the back early in the race and then try to fight your way back up to the front. Was that kind of going to plan?
Not really. At the plate tracks, a lot of the times I really like to get up front and try to control the race. And I just wasn't really able to. Found myself in in a bad lane, or stuck behind groups of guys working together, and just not really able to penetrate up and take the lead. So just was kind of just for most of the race just trying to survive and take what the race was giving me.
Man, well, take what the race has given you. Let's talk. Let's go ahead and dive into it. Let's talk a little bit about that contact here on turn number 3. I know Benjamin White has some choice words, but talk to me about it. It looked like you were trying to door draft. The same thing you guys have been doing for many, many laps before. It just looked like it sucked you down this time. What happened from the inside your car?
Yeah, I mean, from my point of view, it was no different than the last 4 or 5 laps that we were side by side there. Really just trying to turn in at the same angle. When you're on that outside, you want to pinch that bottom car as much as possible, to try to slow them down a little bit. I didn't go in the corner with the plan of contact, and I haven't really investigated the replay too far. It looks like there was maybe a little contact, some net code maybe, but I mean, I thought maybe the contact. I thought he had lost it going into the corner, like from my point of view, just in the heat of the moment. I noticed him bounce around a lot. It kind of caught me really off guard, because I kind of I thought there was a chance. I didn't go in the corner hoping for contact, but I thought there was a chance for it, so I was kind of mentally prepared for it. So but that much kind of caught me off guard, but I didn't think it was anything malicious on anybody's part. I thought it was just hard racing for the win.
Yeah, I was gonna say going into turn 3 without intent, as I'm sure what we're hoping for, and then it just unfortunately got him a little bit loose out there. Definitely, it was a tough race, man. I would say Talladega, there's a whole lot that can happen. A lot of things can go on. You can get marched to the back in a blink of an eye. You could choose the wrong lane and it goes even worse, or something like that. But really, how nervous were you that even though Benjamin White had kind of been marched out there, that Austin Hicks may have slid around and gone ahead and tried to beat you to the line?
I was kind of prepped for it. I was ready to. I mean, we were working together. And that's my fellow Toyota bro out there. But I was prepared for him to try to make a run for it. Either cut towards the bottom, and I was gonna try to react as best as I could. Obviously, it was gonna be a good points day for us. We're gonna be top 5s at worst there. So I was kind of ready for it, but it seemed like it never really came. But there wasn't any team orders or anything there. I think he just wanted to kind of lock up a good finish. And I told him hopefully we'll get the roles reversed at Daytona next time out. And then I can push him to a win next time.
Yeah, he'd definitely appreciate that. But before we head to Daytona, man, we are actually going to head to Darlington. That race will end up being next Saturday in these Xfinity cars. Talk to me how nervous you are about heading there, or is there any nervousness and you feel just confident and ready to go?
None at all. I love Darlington. Got to be just one of the best racetracks in the world. It's always fun racing there. You know, it's a very fine line, a very small margin for error. You're going to get a Darlington stripe or 30. You know, it's just kind of the nature of the beast. So goal will just be to try to stay out of trouble, not knock the fence down too much. Keep the tires under it as best as you can, because Darlington loves to chew them up, and just hope we're in contention there at the end. So I'm looking forward to it.
All right, well, that's definitely exciting, man. I hope. Have you ever been to a real Darlington race?
I have not. That's definitely on the bucket list when
Right.
when I move next year.
Highly recommend. I highly recommend. It is very, very good.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Yep, you learn a lot. All right, Darren, go and give me shout outs here, buddy.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out, all my teammates working with me tonight: Noah, Antonio, Austin, all those, Justin, Blake, all those Toyotas. We were working great together there, and Weaver and the Ford. The whole Darren Ingram Autosports team was able to work together pretty well tonight, and hopefully we'll just keep that moving forward. Hopefully we can knock off a couple more wins now that we've got the one. And shout out to you guys for the broadcast. Thank you for putting that on, and I can't wait to go back and rewatch it. I know it was a little rough at first with all the wrecks, but we got through it. We survived, and luckily I like the way that tonight ended up.
Oh yeah. Well, the cautions are one thing. Everything was a-okay. It's the you'll see Garrett Sidnor out there, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I hate having an assisted wreck.
Oh man, I'll get my popcorn ready for this review.
yeah, it's hateful when you've avoided it and then you didn't. All right, Darren, congratulations on your win here for the We're Serious About Success 266 by Devry, and we will catch you at Darlington.
Sweet, see you guys there.
Yep. All right, Darren Ingram there. As you can see the replay of the contact in question that was heading into 3. And it looks like it was a little bit of a door draft deal, and it doesn't look like anything real malicious about it here. You see the 21 trying to squeeze down a little bit, and I can't tell. It looks like Benjamin White is staying solid throughout that turn, but I give it to the 32 for being able to save it there and not whipping it around and collecting it back up. But, wow, what a race. What a race. Still a great one here. Douglas Ross, appreciate you hanging out with me tonight, man. How excited are you about Darlington coming up?
Be an interesting race to lay out for next week, so it'll be interesting, so to say.
All right, man. You getting tired? You getting tired of this race whoop you too?
Nah, not at all.
All righty. Well, I said next week will end up being Darlington. Guys, don't forget to check out simtracksbroadcasting.com if you're looking for any past races that we have done, any of your favorite winners that have gone out there and done a great job. And definitely like, subscribe, and share all of our featured races that we do. I do have a good amount of streams for the upcoming, so you guys should be lined up for what is due. Can't wait for the Bandit Racing League to kick back off. USORL, again, there on Thursdays. Next time you will see us is going to be with Nora for the beginning of the playoffs out there on Tuesday. Definitely keep that in mind. We're going to be coming on 8:30 sharp on Tuesday. But that's going to do it for us here at Simtracks Broadcast, and bringing you the USORL League here. That's going to do it. Be well, be safe, be kind. See all you guys next time.